another cheeseburger.
You can go through their website. It's a pretty easy template. You know what I mean? You can design it. They have their own their own templates, but you can design your own. And I went
Cool.
I went that route because I'm creative as shit. Alan, did you see your little nifty care package this morning?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you like that? Did you like my artwork on the front?
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Yeah. Remember, I did a heart with the arrow, but in the middle of the heart, there's that little squiggly line to make it, look like it kind of pierced the heart right in the middle a little bit.
Penetration purposes.
I penetrated Alan's heart.
Yes.
Oh, that's so sweet. Yeah, if dude, I'll get those. I think he said it takes like 5 to 7 days to get those whatever beer coasters back. So like as soon as I get the design to him. And did you understand what I was saying, by the way? Like,
yes.
I mean, I know it's pretty self-explanatory, but yeah, just find a good black spot on there. I wouldn't do anything on the back. Obviously, everything probably needs to be on the front.
See, what Murr's talking about, ladies and gentlemen, is we've got business cards, we've got beer coasters, we got fucking stickers coming out.
Yeah, for all that networking we're doing.
Middle Classholes are on the up and up.
All that in-person networking that we're doing.
Yeah, it's a good time to start to do in-person networking during a pandemic where you're supposed to stay as far away from human beings as humanly possible.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think I'm going to organize like an up-and-comers podcast mixer in the greater Baltimore and D.C. area. Alan, have you organized a couple mixers?
No, but, I mean, I don't think it'd be that hard. Also, I mean, this one seems really easy. I think it's just a bunch of like 30-something dudes at a fucking American Legion, probably.
I'm going to need you to define the word bunch because I feel like it'll be us and like 2 other guys.
Yeah, that's a bunch. I think 5's
Okay.
a bunch. Yeah.
But there you have it. There you have your start. Your cross promotional platform with 4 other podcasts that have like 40 to 50 listeners and followers.
Yeah. I think the saddest thing for any kind of mixer is when you walk in and you immediately realize that you were the coolest bunch there because you know that you're there to get advice and they're there to ruin your career as an up-and-coming podcaster.
I think just once you start getting into the realm of like calling something a mixer, you start diving into risk. Like, I mean, so my high school dances, they were called mixers for some odd reason, and I thought that was stupid.
I think I have an answer for why, but if you're curious, but go ahead.
But after that point in time, everything that was a mixer just seemed like it had like a crystal bowl of punch in the back, and that was it. It was just a blank room with people milling about, fucking being sad. Yeah, I mean, we could have one. I think it's doable, but I don't think it's the greatest idea. Is all.
No, I definitely think not because but yours, why? Okay, Wes, I have a theory on why it's called a mixer. You go ahead. I want to hear your theory.
Because Alan went to an all boys school.
Yeah.
So the dance, you're mixing and mingling. They're bringing in the other chromosome.
Yeah, more juice is mixing than that bowl in the middle of the room, baby.
Latino heat right in the middle of Mount St. Joe's mixer.
It's just a dark gymnasium. That's all it was.
Wes, do you remember when they finally came out with that giant video screen that they decided to bring to the Perryville dances? Did they ever do that again, or was that just one time in my middle school years?
Yeah, I'm going to say that sounds like a early to mid 90s. Like, let's spice things up. Let's give the kids 10 feet of God knows what.
I got to tell you, they had this. Okay, so it was a video screen that was almost like floor to ceiling in the middle school gym. And using my my Wayback Vision in my brain, the guy actually looked exactly like you do right now, and you could tell that, knowing what I know now, independent contractor, spent all of his parents' money on this high-tech equipment for the mid to early 90s. And the only thing I remember from that dance is that nobody danced because everybody was just standing with their jaws hanging wide open, staring at this like 2-story like screen that was basically playing MTV in the gymnasium. And my most vivid memory is them playing Metallica's Enter Sandman video, which in a function where you're trying to get boys and girls to, mingle and get comfortable with each other and on an emotional level,
right?
Maybe having James Hetfield screaming "Exit light, enter night," sleep with one eye open, gripping your pillow tight, may not have been the best choice musically or visually.
I mean, it's an aggressive tactic. I think, I think the words apply. So it just depends. You just got to spin it,
Then it immediately. This never happened to me. So I mean, yes, we did go to the same middle school a few years apart, but I would have remembered that. But I think that when that song ended, my movie version of this event, Boys to Men is cued. And then you get the hip and over-the-shoulder dance where the chick is usually like 4 to 5 inches taller than the guy. Remember in middle school they were all taller?
Yeah, my entire life. Yeah, I remember that.
I was gonna say that's still kind of a problem.
Sorry, guys. Murr, you brought up you're gonna tell this story. I don't care if you want to or not. So, Murr, is Metallica your favorite band?
Yeah, I'd say so. Yeah, probably. Yes. I've seen them in concert 6 times, so I'm gonna have to probably go by default. Yes.
Okay, we're top tier. And Murr one fateful night got pumped up to do something by my brother singing "Master." Remember, it was video recorded. It existed existed on a VHS tape for quite some time. I think it's probably lurking around in Nebula somewhere.
Okay, so see, this is a time before high-tech security systems. There weren't video cameras on every block. Double-wide trailers didn't have your little Arlo whistle when anybody got near it. And there was an elementary school near Wes's childhood home. And me and Wes's brother and friends used to get rather inebriated. And one of our most fun things to do was figure out a way to scale the elementary school and get atop its roof. And we did this on multiple occasions. And there were very few ways down. And really, there was like somewhat like auxiliary building off to the side that they had built, obviously post original construction. And the way you really got down is you had to kind of jump, and it was about a 4-foot gap, and then you hit this like A-frame roof, and then you still had to go down. It was about a 10-foot drop off of that. Or Wes's brother's amazing idea was, "Hey, there's some bushes down there. They'll probably break or fall." And so Dewey, Wes's brother, decides, "Whoop, I'll just jump off into the bush." And Dewey, no offense, Dewey, if you listen to this, always strikes me as kind of a pussy when it comes to risk-taking adventures. And then when I saw him do it, I'm like, fuck, there's no way I'm getting off this roof without jumping into this bush. So Dewey jumps in the bush. Adam was with us that night. That's there, right. Wesley. Yeah. And so Adam jumps off into the bush.
By the way, that summer was documented by and large with this fucking over-the-shoulder video camera that he had purchased at a yard sale or something like Craigslist or something like that. I don't know.
This is like the summer, post like season 2 of Jackass. So videotaping shenanigans was in high demand at that time. And so now the bush is like, it's obliterated right in the middle. And then we had someone else with us. I shall leave her nameless to protect her current business. And so we lowered, I lowered her down by her hands to where they could kind of catch her by the waist. And now I am on the roof by myself. And I'm looking down like, guys, the bush is smashed, man. There's nothing for me to land on. They're like, no, this section right here. This section right here. He's got to hit this section right here. You got to remember, it's a 1-story drop. So I'm like, I don't know, man. I think I'm just going to go the regular way down or shimmy down the drain spout. And it's like, nah, man, we did it. You got to do it now. And so Adam starts going, come on, man. Master, master. And keeps saying master, master, like master of puppets. And so finally I'm like, fuck it, I'm going. And I took one too many propulsion steps. Like just that one last one propelled me just a hair past the bush. I hit the ground, heels first. Boom! Wet mud just flips them out, and my tailbone broke my fall. And if I had an erection in that moment, I could have deep-throated myself. He held a hilt.
Yeah, I probably rewound that and watched that 500 times, and every time it was hilarious. And it always ended with Murr rolling around like, you know that arch when you stick your ass out when you're hurt? He's like, Dewey trying to be encouraging. He's like, I think he just like compressed himself a little bit. You're all right, buddy.
I think the thing
I remember fucking guy almost broke both legs.
Oh, it's the guy that rationalizes it in the background.
The thing is, I'm swinging back and forth, like, you know, not flopping, but like rolling back and forth, like you're trying to like bread coat like a salmon or something. And I'm going back and forth, and Dewey's like, "Hey man, I think you compressed yourself." And at least in a moment of levity, I was able to stop and just kind of look up at him with zero breath left in my body and go, "No shit." And then I went back to writhing in agony. And that was also the night that I realized that, you know, when you do the double arm carry, when someone's so hurt that you got to throw an arm around one neck and another arm around another neck, and then they have to help drag you down the road. I realized that is a perfectly fine method of transportation for someone who probably has a spinal cord injury. We got to hit up Adam and see if that had made it in the journey somewhere. You know, if that's just one of those knickknacks that he every time he moved, he uncovered in some fucking, you know, giant plastic bin and said, I can't get rid of that. It's too good. I will ask him. Well, the ending of that story is, so I believe I had to lie on your concrete basement floor just to make sure that I wasn't paralyzed when I woke up in the morning. And when I was able to finally drag myself up the stairs, your dad's buddy CT is just in the living room with Adam. And it was almost like that, like when the FBI or CIA is like rewinding a tape, like to like enhance. And it was just like, I could just hear CT cackling, going, "Play it again." And you could hear the breath leaving my body, like, "Play it again, play it again." So I'm trying to drag myself through, hungover and just broken through a foreign house, and just all I hear is like the breath leaving my own body. And then CT goes, "Is that you?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "You're a fucking idiot."
That was, yeah. That I was going to say, like, I had that. Mind you, he's talking about the next day, so the VHS is already getting some play. It's like, you know, when Craig got caught stealing on his day off at Friday or whatever. But, oh, man. The only thing, I definitely got up on top of that elementary school a number of times. I do remember one. It's not as funny as yours, but it's worth noting. I was probably like 10 and got pulled up by my, this is a common theme of this, is my brother, and the buddy, and two guys that were his age, and full blown, like, this one was like, "Hey, cops are coming." And I was like, "Nah, they're not." And sure enough, fucking state boy is rolling down the road, like, "Oh shit." Run around, getting down the way we were getting down the way we were getting up was a lot. You couldn't like rush through it. You had to be a little more meticulous, especially at 10. Finally, we found like what we deemed as the lowest part of the school, which is about 10 feet. And to a 10-year-old, that looks like a fucking mile. And just like, I remember hanging and dropping and feeling like I fell for about 60 seconds. It was like, get up, run. And I remember one of the guys was holding himself there going, "Help me." I was like, "Nope." On
your own jam.
It's all or nothing, homie. But yeah, that was played a lot, that videotape.
Yeah. We could do a whole episode on just the elementary school tales and sagas there, Alan. It's I've got like 3 others, but we'll save them for another date. But Wes, I did want to bring this up to you guys because this is something that was just apparently eating away at my brain for years, and I never realized it. Are you now, Alan? Rookie of the Year. You're familiar with the film, correct?
Yes.
Just to make sure I've got the right movie, can you explain the plot of Rookie of the Year?
I always mix them up. Is that Rowan Gardner?
It's Rowan Gardner, yeah.
Is that Henry Rowan Gardner?
Yes.
Yeah. So what is it? Kid like was fucking around with his friends, breaks his arm, and then can magically throw like a gazillion miles per hour, and he gets picked up by the Cubs, who are garbage at the time, right? Is it the Cubs?
I think it's the Cubs.
Yeah, it's the Cubs.
Yeah, and then fucking like his mom weirdly falls in love with fucking Gary Busey or some shit. There's a weird side plot. So is that the same film?
Yes,
I think it's the same film. Kid breaks his arm again, loses ability, somehow fucking carries them to a fucking victory of high importance. Movie ends.
Yeah, I think they win the pennant. Is that all they win?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's probably just a fucking rivalry game.
And you're also forgetting the part where he basically distances himself from his friends who you play for the Cubs? Can't hang out with your buddies? I'd be like, nah, bro, I sure can't.
He alienates his childhood bros.
Yeah.
He tells them basically to go fuck themselves. He's a major leaguer.
I'm playing for the Cubs, man.
Yeah.
I do like how the plot line is that a 12-year-old can throw like 100+ miles an hour, and that's not ridiculous, but having the Cubs win the actual World Series, especially at that time, was absolutely out of the question. We can only suspend so much disbelief here, fellas.
We got to make the Cubs win an pennant believable.
I think it's really more about a time when Hollywood thought that Gary Busey made for a decent father figure role model. A PG/PG-13 film. So,
holy shit. Well, I was trying to come up with some 3 and out questions on my drive into work this morning, and for whatever reason, like that movie popped into my mind, and I finally, after all these years, figured out what the movie was about. So he was a little leaguer, right? That was his whole thing. He was a little leaguer with a dream of playing in the big leagues, right?
Well, he was but he was talentless. He was no good.
Yeah, he was like bad.
And so he finally got the talent to go to a big league team because he thought it would be fun to play baseball. And then the team didn't play very well because they were the Cubs. And then once he lost his powers, he taught the team how to have fun playing baseball again. And the only reason they win is because they go back to playing with little league tactics. And I think they win the game because he does the hidden ball trick. And this morning, it was like one of those moments where like 30 years later, I finally got it. It took that long. Like as a kid, it was just a whimsical story about a child playing for a Major League Baseball team. And as an adult, I finally learned it's all about having fun. Don't lose that childhood magic. And if you could just play like a shitty little leaguer, maybe you'll win a World Series one day.
The black light went off? Is that what happened today?
Yeah. It makes me wonder how many movies I watched that I really didn't get. You know, like they like just stupid moron, like watching Terminator 2, like, oh, it's a movie about robots fighting each other. No, it's a movie about children and fathers. Like, how many times do I have to see this to get it? I don't know. It just blew something apart in my stupid little brain.
Yeah, I think like Independence Day, you think like that's about like aliens taking over the world and shit, but at the heart of it is humanity, man. It's
humanity coming together, you motherfucker. And I'm giving you can never take a goddamn thing I say seriously, you son of a bitch.
Come on, man. This is what we do. Busting balls. I understand it. Yes, Murr, you are right. And your Bill Murray a la Scrooge soliloquy there was fucking amazing. It made my loins go Latino heat all over the place. It was like I was in the fucking.
I'm just proud of you getting there, but you know it's not when you get there; it's the fact that you got there. So
I was also mad at myself because I felt like I had like it was like all of a sudden I understood Inception, but it was Rookie of the Year.
You don't understand Inception. Nobody does.
How old was Roland Gardner? Roughly,
I'd say like 12-ish.
12, 13.
Yeah. Did you guys hear about the 12-year-old who stole his parents' I think it was a Range Rover. Yeah, stole it from Queens and drove it damn near to Delaware.
Mm. Yeah, he's going to be a modern day hero when he gets the internet back.
So here we are. A 12-year-old, they, of course, because he's a minor, didn't name him by name, and his 7-year-old cousin reported missing from their home in Queens after they drove off in a white Range Rover. Police tracked the vehicle using E-ZPass information and license plate readers. They found them safe at a rest stop in New Jersey near the Delaware border. I'm familiar with that. Now, the Delaware border is the Delaware River and the Delaware Memorial Bridge, so he didn't make it over that. But they say that they suspect that it had to do with a social media, not necessarily a prank, but some sort of you won't dare, and that they suspected that the child was going to drive until he ran out of gas. The cojones on this 12-year-old, your thoughts?
I mean, look, it's a different era. I feel like if this was, I don't know, let's see, when would I have been 12 years old? 1991? I feel like if this was 91, the difference is I would have done it and I might have gotten away with it. But you hear all the technology they have to fuck with these kids, man. They had Easy Pass readers and license plate trackers. So they're hitting them with like overpass cameras. And they're hitting him with Easy Pass. They're hitting him with everything. Bottom line is, it sounds like he accomplished his mission, and he's a modern day Johnny fucking Appleseed.
How do you get to a point where, okay, I just say at 12, at that age, at least myself and my own disposition, it was genuinely fear most of the time that I was just going to get caught. Now, I wouldn't have started my parents' car, but had I probably would have made it down to the end of the block before I realized it's like, whoa, boy, fuck, I better get this fucker back before something bad happens. You have a 12-year-old not only navigating out of Queens, I don't know where he drove over, presumably the Verrazana. I don't think he went through the Lincoln Tunnel and through the city, but through the Verrazana, down the New Jersey 95, was it Jersey Turnpike, almost the entire way to another state. The tolls he probably racked up. I just say, like, the fucking, just the general lack of not giving a fuck was amazing to me.
Yeah, I mean, how old was he, 12?
And he had a 7-year-old cousin, wingman, fucking probably singing master the entire time.
He had a hype man. Yeah. They were fucking doing Fortnite dances. Like the whole, it was probably fucking mayhem. Yeah, it was just a 7-year-old in the fucking front seat, just
probably
killing it.
50 TikToks. All right, we're gonna get another one. We stole it.
TikToks. They're just hopped up on fucking juice. I'm just assuming they carried assorted juice.
Oh, they brought roadies. They brought roadies.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, man, it's fucking wild. I wouldn't have done it. And at that age too, I was a pretty dedicated dare acceptor. Like, if you dared me, I'll fucking do it. But this just seems really risky. I mean, you gotta have some balls. But hey, it's a new day and age, man. Kids are fucking wild.
Right.
Kids are out here doing crazy shit.
I think that is the difference with today and then yesteryear is that, okay, like, if I was out and about, somebody might be like, yo, I dare you to try to jump that creek on your bike. We'll set the rocks up, and then you'd set up like rocks like a ramp and you'd try it. Today, you have the entire like globe daring you through internet trolls to do ridiculous shit. And I think that's the difference. Is back in the day, you were only dared to do what was directly in front of you. And now pretty much it's wide open. It's the Wild West of childhood dares. And I mean, I could drive at 12 years old. I mean, my brother would have been 17 at that time. He taught me how to drive when he was 15. So I was 10 when I knew how to drive a car, a stick shift at that. So yeah, I mean, I would have had the ability, but yeah, I don't think I would have had the balls to take my parents' car.
I'm going to have to bring this up on Google Maps at some point because, like, where they're talking about, they said, hold on, I think not the dumbed down version. I don't want to say that. The bits and pieces that I copied and pasted, or that you copied and pasted for me, Murr, onto this, onto the Google Drive. It doesn't have where they gave the street name, or at least like a neighborhood in Queens.
It was about 2-hour drive where they started and where they ended up. It was about 2 hours of just steady hauling.
Okay. Yes, the emphasis on the length and distance is important and impressive to me. I'm talking about getting out of New York, getting out of Queens into Jersey. And he probably took the Verrazano. Well, I'm just saying, that's still, it's a huge bridge. It's fucking, probably done it a bunch of times, but not himself.
The difference too with the Easy Pass stuff now is back in the day, if you and I tried it, like let's say you tried to go to Haverty Grace from Perryville, right? Back in the day, you would have gotten stopped at the toll. You would have had to pay like actual American cash. Now you just fly right through and they just charge you later. Especially if your parents have the Easy Pass set up so you could just go. You don't have to stop for shit. Right. And they didn't stop when the cops even got behind them. Oh boy, fucking floored it and rolled on through.
Kept it going. But what do you think was in the middle console, Alan, in terms of edibles and eats and fucking munchies? Pixie sticks.
I mean, fruit roll-ups, 100%. Lots of juice. Like I said, juices. I think it's just assorted juices that'll keep you high on sugar for fucking hours.
Yeah.
Bro. Child juices are just sugar bombs. In assorted fucking packaging. Capri Suns. Could you imagine? Fucking like 2 cases of Capri Suns. Those bitches are gone.
Yeah.
On the way to Absolutely fucking gone.
I feel like you guys are grossly underestimating today's youth. There's a good chance this kid was all jacked up on an 8-ball. I mean, kids today are like 30-year-olds when we were 12.
Yeah, we probably are severely underestimating him. He's probably fucking like had lippers in the whole fucking time.
Give me the spick up.
Just pressing them out too, getting them in there real good. But yeah.
Hey, you want to stop at a Burger King rest stop? No, I mean there'll be another one at 12 miles. We're good. All right, we're good.
Yeah. Drinking like double gulps.
Now, the only driving dare I ever did is we had been, this was when I had my apartment. I think it was like the summer I turned like 19. And our manager from the gas station that we worked at, he was probably in his early mid-30s. And he was like, fuck it, man, we should just drive somewhere. Let's go. And I was like, you want to go? He was like, yeah, let's go. And I was like, fuck it, let's go. And we started driving. And keep in mind, this guy's got a wife and kids at home. We ended up in Trenton, New Jersey, driving from Elkton. And then on the way back, he finally convinced me to turn around because I was just like, I'm just going to keep driving until you tell me to stop. And neither one of us wanted to be like, all right, let's turn around. So finally he did. And we stopped at Delaware Park. Keep in mind, I'm 19. I'm like, oh, how am I going to get in? He's like, just come with me. We get in Delaware Park and the lady's checking IDs. And so she checks his ID. And as she's checking his ID, he just elbows me onto the escalator. And I just start going up. And the security chick looked at me. I looked back at her, and she was like, I don't feel like running up those fucking steps. So we went in, and apparently they give you free drinks while you're gambling. So I just sat in there, and we bet $100 until we ran out of money, and then we had like 3 beers and rolled on back to Elkton.
Was this when you were working at Sunoco?
Yes.
I was going to say, we could do a whole podcast on Sunoco.
Not legally.
Top of the elementary school, episode 1. Sunoco, 95 rest stop. Episode 2.
Jesus.
Yeah, it's lovely places. One of the bits, one of the articles I came across, actually, I'm not going to lay claim to this. This is all you, Murr. Again, your cockles are bumping. You guys it's like a bass drum right here in the cockles of your heart. Former head of Israel's space division, aliens are real. Trump was on the verge of confirming. Retired Israeli general and current professor, it's at Hayam Eshed told a newspaper in Israel that not only are aliens real, but the U.S. and the Israeli governments have been working with them, and President Donald Trump was recently on the verge of confirming their existence. So he retired in 2011 as the head of the Defense Ministry Space Division, served as head of Israeli space security program for nearly 30 years. So he explained that Israel and the U.S. have been dealing with aliens for quite some time. They have been waiting for humanity to evolve and reach a stage where they will genuinely understand what space and spaceships are. It's almost like that Jodie Foster movie. What's that called?
Contact,
yeah. Like, she sees the vision of her dad, and like, this is the process. We need to make sure that you're comfortable. There's an agreement between us, between the U.S. government and the aliens. They signed a contract. Signed a contract with us to do experiments here. They, too, are researching and trying to understand the whole fabric of the universe, and they want us as helpers. There's an underground base in the depths of Mars where their representatives are, and also alien astronauts. I guess I could go on to read the last part, but I think that sums it up. You have a very credible man here claiming they're real, and Trump knows about it. There's experiments being done. The anal probing is no bullshit. Literally.
Yeah, I mean, aliens are real, buddy. I think, like I said, a couple episodes back, we've been touching on this loosely for like months now. This is the perfect time. everybody's fucking caught up in other shit, dying, going broke, world economy falling apart. There's lots of things to distract you from aliens are real. So now's the fucking perfect time. Now this whole contract thing, I don't know about the legalities of U.S. contracts in interstellar fucking applications, but we might have to bring Calvert on. So yeah.
May I say something just briefly, because you said
please.
Now's the time because of COVID and whatnot, but the former, I don't even know what his title is. Let's see here. Retired Israeli general said that they are waiting for the right time for us to understand. So how will we understand more in a pandemic about aliens?
What are you asking? What is the right time for us to understand? Like for us to understand? Well, I guess what is the question? I got to read this. Give me 1 second. I got to see it written out.
Says, hold on.
Well, I'm going to throw a question back at you while Alan's researching this. At what level of official will finally turn you into saying there might be some credibility to these sightings and these claims and the potential reality of an alien race of beings? What level of official will it take for you to kind of start to turn the tide and maybe coming to our side of the court here?
Well, I would have taken this guy's word for it to at least a certain extent until he started getting in there's fucking contract signed. There's a signed contract, a signed document. There's your credibility.
I'm going to use my bullshit rationale to turn you on this. So the aliens come, and look, if we've been working for 30 years, they said. So what year would that have been? Go back to 2020. So what? 1990. The aliens sign a contract. As stupid humans, aren't we the ones that would be like, okay, we'll work together, but first you got to sign this sheet of paper? And so like this super complicated like race is like looking at each other like, are they fucking serious? Like this means anything? All right, sign that shit. And then they just sign it. And they're like, all right, fine, yeah, we're working together. Here's your contract. Like we're the dumbasses that handed them the paper, not them. And by the way, space is policed by maritime law. So there is technically international law in space.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Well, they said he said they signed a contract with us to do experiments here. Why would we need to sign a contract with them to do experiments on us or here?
Because it's politics, man. It's like,
hey, while you're here, just so you can roam in our airspace, here's some stipulations we need to sign them. That's how they. That's how they do
because our simple human brains were like, we've got to give these aliens rules, and these aliens were like, fucking idiots. All right, yeah, sure, we'll abide by your rules that we can clearly just fucking break because we're aliens. Until you guys kind of catch up, and I think to your original question, Wes, the time that they were waiting for us to get to might have been Elon Musk and SpaceX trying to go to Mars. And he was like, okay, humans got a guy that gets it. Let's get down there. Let's start fucking having some talks. Let's start setting some agendas, having some board meetings, fucking, and discussing the future of space in our universe.
Right.
I don't know how advanced they are. Clearly, they've made it to Mars, though.
I think, yeah, because then the conspiracy dives deeper because Elon Musk said we're not going to be following any international law when we get to Mars. And some of the powers that be were probably like, wait a minute, this cowboy, this loose cannon can't be up in Mars fucking shooting around like Yosemite Sam. We gotta sort this shit out before they get there.
Elon probably already talked to the aliens and he knows what's going to happen. We're just going to say, fuck this contract. And the U.S. were like, see, but we got a contract from 1990. And the aliens would be like, yeah, that was bullshit. We don't care.
We read the contract. We saw a loophole.
Now, Wes, I want you to kind of just, at least theoretically join us for just a second here. And imagine now the era we live in and all the cameras, all the amateur photographers that are out there, all the abilities with the different types of radar and LiDAR. The world is basically encased in data finding materials like satellites, cameras, everything. Now, it's harder and harder and harder for cover-ups to happen. 1950s, you might have had like 3 guys with a camera that was capable, and they had to be there when it happened. Now, you've got Hillbilly Joe with a fucking trail cam in his backyard catching raccoons, eating soup cans, and he doesn't even have to be there to get the shot. We live in a time now where it's harder for the government to say, nope, that didn't happen. That was an anomaly. There's too many data capturing elements out there to completely hide it. And now I feel like they have to start admitting to it. I mean, the time is now. I'm not saying we're at the point where the aliens think we get it, but we're definitely at the point where we can't deny that there's not at least something afoot that can't be explained.
Like, I mean, as we know, I'm not really a Trump guy, but I felt like he was the guy of any of president to be like, guess what, fucking family? We got aliens. It's super true. It's super true. Isn't this fucking crazy? Aliens, this guy. Like, I felt like he would figure out a way to take some kind of credit for aliens, and I would have been okay with that. So I believe this shit. Like, the Israeli minister guy, I don't know how old you are. You're probably senile as fuck, but I still kind of believe you.
Yeah, why don't you believe this guy, Wes? They obviously, the Israelis and the Americans obviously trusted this guy with state secrets for 3 decades. Mm-hmm. So why now is he not credible enough to hold an opinion?
Okay, I explained myself because he went on to say that there's a contract between alien and human. Then you sit here and shake your head like you explained it. No, you gave your bullshit fucking like, all right, well, here's how it could have happened without any proof. I saw there was a major general. There is a major general who still says that fucking a missile was shot into the Pentagon on 9/11. Okay, that's how I fucking know sometimes these people are fucking weird and kooky and believe this bullshit.
Okay, fair enough. But what about the Commander Fravor, the guy who chased the Tic Tac UFO? Like, and the list goes on and on.
Yeah, I want to get to the bottom of it. That's what I'll tell you.
I don't think you do. Yeah. I think that's West bullshit.
Well, I hold out nearly every other episode for some alien fucking talk with you guys. I've dedicated a lot of the podcast to alien and UFOs. Okay, so you're walking on thin ice. You're walking on thin bushes, buddy.
But I just want to know what's the tipping point for Wes Fox. Where does he believe it? Do you need to see Bobcat Goldthwait coming out of the fucking? I was
about to say you're teeing that up pretty good. I mean,
is that it?
No. What's it? I mean, I'd like to say like, yeah, something coming down, and there's like clear, like Independence Day style, like holy shit, and then news things all over it at the moment. Not some fucking kook in Nebraska who I don't know is high on moonshine half the day.
So it's obnoxious to think that aliens would sign a contract, but not obnoxious to believe that aliens will one day hold a full-fledged press conference on CNN. Okay, just want to make sure we're on the same page here.
Didn't say a fuck.
Like a warm, creamy chutney. Get ready for another spoonful of the middle Classholes.
Tommy Tiny Lister, famous for playing intimidating but lovable tough guys in films like Friday, has died, TMZ has learned. Law enforcement sources say that they got a call to the actor's Marina Del Rey apartment just before 3 p.m. for an unconscious male. The worst part about this is they didn't even transport him. He was pronounced dead on the scene. There's no cause of death right now. And, of course, we all know Tiny Lister. Sorry, Sonny, even though that's not your name. We all remember him from Friday. And for me, his most notable role of all time was playing Zeus in No Holds Barred, starring the incomparable Hulk Hogan. I was afraid of that motherfucker. Like, him, because No Holds Barred came out when I was young, like 86-ish, something like that, probably.
87, 88,
so,
yeah.
Him and Darth Vader, like, they were such imposing presences on the screen. Like, they actually legitimately scared me as a child. But by the way, he was in the WWF, wasn't he? Because of the movie?
Yeah, so we had, back when we were still the 410s podcast, we did the best bad movies, and I think Adam picked No Holds Barred. You inquired about why he became a wrestler after the movie, but played the same character, whereas Hulk Hogan played a different dude. But the guy was like,
yes,
yeah. And I had explained to you because movies are real and pro wrestling's fake. You didn't take.
Yeah. It still doesn't make any sense to me.
After hearing it's not really
the explanation twice.
I might have missed this. How old was he?
62.
Oh, wow.
Damn.
Well, I mean, that makes sense to me. I just felt like he was younger for some odd reason.
Yeah, that's still pretty young. And I mean, now that I've gotten older, that's still pretty young in my book. But and he was in Batman. He was in The Dark Knight. He was like one of the prisoners on the boat. And he finally he takes the trigger for the explosive device away from the warden because nobody will pull the trigger on it. And he throws it out the window. He's like, "I'm gonna do something you should have done a long time ago." And everybody thinks he's gonna turn it, and he just tosses it out the window and sits down and prays.
Yeah.
He's also in Next Friday as Debo as well. Great movie.
He is. It's pretty fantastic.
Plays the same character twice. Believe that?
He busts out of jail and stuffs himself into Craig's dad's dog catching truck.
With one of the dudes from Onyx.
Yeah.
Sticky Fingers is the...
Yes.
Right?
Damn! Up. That's all I know of Onyx.
It was a terrible film.
So good. Here at the Middle Classholes, we like to hit you with some real hard-hitting, straight to the core, straight to the plums of your DNA articles that really mean something. And we actually came up with a bundle of them this previous week, and we just couldn't decide what we wanted to talk about. So we came up with this interesting thing, and I'm going to go ahead and share with you all. We're going to decide, we're going to let fate decide. We're going to spin the wheel here, okay? Can't decide, wheel will decide for you. And we have 4 articles. Well, we'll whatever the wheel gets to, we'll go with it. But the articles are Sex with a Chinese Spy, My Porn Stash, Recipe for, was that Seduction? College Sushi, but Nude. All right, are you gentlemen ready?
We are ready and waiting, sir.
Okay, here we go. Just spin them. Come on.
It always takes a second.
College Sushi, but Nude. All right.
All right.
So this here...
Good answer. Good answer.
Good answer.
This is a... So...
Gotta look around. Go ahead. Sorry.
UNLV quarterback, and I'm going to get his name here in a little bit. Division I athlete. Okay. Let's see. Max Gilliam. That even sounds like a quarterback's name, right? Max Gilliam, yeah, UNLV.
From a bad movie, yeah.
Sure, here. Issued an apology Monday for a recent appearance on Bravo's Below Deck, in which he features eating sushi off a nude model. He appeared with his childhood best friend, Dax Nittolo. Hanging out with dickbags named Dax Nittolo.
Max and Dax.
Max and Dax, Christ. Another friend on the show, it was only Luke and their 3 girlfriends. They chartered a boat out of Jolly Harbor, Antigua. Dinner on the first night was the highlight of the episode. A world-class chef describes with painstaking detail her sushi preparation, but expresses frustration. Her efforts only have been wasted on a group that seems far more infatuated at how it was served. So, they bring out all this stuff on a nude broad. They eat it off. Apparently, he had to offer some sort of apology on behalf of the university and NCAA student athletes in general. I mean, what do they expect out of college dudes, man? Of course, there were women there. It wasn't like it was so fucking... I don't know. Maybe I'm sticking up for Max too much. Max and Dax.
I will let you in on a little secret. Behind the scenes here is I watched this show with my wife. And it's fucking terrible. I hate myself every time I watch it. But sometimes I can't pull myself away, quite frankly. But I don't understand. Like, I haven't seen this episode yet. I'm a little behind. I don't watch it religiously, but I do watch it. So, these are like fucking giant mega yachts that cost like $250,000 to rent for like a weekend. So, I got a lot of questions about why UNLV quarterback fucking Max Dickbag is on one. Number one. With just his bros, I'm assuming mommy and daddy sent him. But to that end, fucking, when you pay $250,000, you're lucky he didn't eat human off of a fucking human. That's what I would ask for if I was on one of those. Like, the most dangerous game. Like, let's go hunt a human and then cut it up and serve it to me on a human. That's what I would ask for $250,000 for 3 days on a boat. So, I don't think you need to apologize. Fuck it. Eat that sushi off the naked broad. It's totally fine with me.
I'm going to read his apology real quick that he issued via Twitter. That's the source to go to when issuing apologies.
Empathy is sky high in Twitter. Yeah.
I would like to apologize for my poor judgment while on the TV show Below Deck and acknowledge that I have made a mistake that I will learn from. While it was not my best idea, nor any of my friends' ideas to eat sushi off of a model, I should have exercised better judgment and declined the idea immediately when it was brought up by the producers. This is not a reflection of my character or the way I was raised, nor a reflection of the culture of UNLV football. I would like to humbly move past this and focus my time and energy on our game against the University of Hawaii this weekend.
All right. Listen, hold on real quick. But before you get into... Can you maybe go over? I'm gonna properly vet and scan for bullshit. So read the first few sentences. I'm gonna go when I hear bullshit. Okay, and I'll tell you why. And I won't one line. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, I would like to apologize for my poor judgment while on the
wasn't poor to do what you did. You ate off a fucking new woman. Go ahead.
Okay, and acknowledge that I have made a mistake that I will learn from.
Well, what's there to learn from? You ate off a new chick. Okay, next.
While it was not my idea, nor any of my friends' ideas to eat sushi off of a model, I believe that, I should have exercised better judgment and declined immediately.
What better judgment? You eating off a nude woman.
Present me I'm a single man in college. My name's Max.
I'm with my bro Dex.
That was good.
I'm below deck on a probably $1 billion yacht
on a show called Below Deck.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, I do agree that it was probably brought up by the producers.
Sure,
but my 22-year-old testosterone tells me that this is a great idea.
Christ, a 12-year-old fucking drove to Delaware on a dare.
Let's see. This is not a reflection of my character. I'm going to wait for you to finish sipping. I don't think it's a reflection of his character either. I do believe that
Not point. Particularly, no. Do 22-year-olds even really have character?
Yeah, I mean, but still, you're fun. You're having fun. Again, I believe that it wasn't his idea. And so, but it's presented to you. I mean, I know some pretty righteous dudes that have gone to a strip club. Does that mean they're evil people because they saw nude single moms dancing for dollars? No. Let's see. Of my character or the way I was raised. Okay, I don't know. I can't call bullshit on that. Now here's this should set your bullshitometer off. Nor a reflection of the culture of UNLV football.
That's a
yes.
Excuse me, sir. The words Las Vegas are in the fucking name. So you can fuck right off, Max.
Yeah, I'm not going to read the rest of it because the rest of it's just placating the university. Yeah, look, I don't know what these institutes of higher learning think we believe of their football programs. I expect semi-grown men that are full of testosterone that are, quote-unquote, being paid, quote-unquote, to go out and obliterate each other every Saturday. I expect them to behave this way. This is tame. I'm surprised that they didn't do other unspeakable things to this model after they finish their dinner. You know, that would be something to apologize for. And if this was presented to them by some highfalutin chef and that's the way they gave them the meal, well, wouldn't it just be rude to not eat the meal at that point? Wouldn't you be insulting maybe the culture of somebody that designed the food? Because this is something they do. I think it's in Japan. Like, this is what those, those panty sniffing businessmen do over on the island all the time.
I will say, in his defense, the chef is like a fucking Midwest yokel. But she's a very good chef. So I don't think she was culturally being like, you should eat my sushi this way. Because I don't know what Idaho's sushi looks like, but I'm assuming it's not like this. Also, let's take a look, just so for clarity. Do I have the screen share?
You do, yeah.
Thanks. So, yeah. This is what we're talking about. Like,
oh my.
This is the size of the boat.
And I was going to bring up. There's nothing in the article that led me to believe that the ladies were offended by this. They all brought dates for the extravaganza. Nothing said that they were disgusted. They ate the sushi as well, so everyone had a good time. They're adults.
I don't know if you happen to see the whirlybird
that's ridiculous.
Sitting on the deck of this thing. But yeah, I mean, dude,
fly that to Delaware.
Like,
you
that's
won't.
where they eat dinner and shit at. Like, it has in there in the back of it is where jet skis come out of. So, like, it's absolutely insane. They literally have a team of like 3 broads waiting on them hand and foot, and then like 4 dudes who just mill about the boat, cleaning every surface on a 24-hour schedule. Like, what did you think was going to happen? Is all I'm saying. There was no chance they weren't eating something exotic off of something exotic when they went on the boat. That's all I'm saying. I believe this is the ad to rent it. It is $300,000 a week.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
no red flag.
Whenever we scrounge that up, guys.
No red flags are raised about a D1 athlete on this boat. Now, have you ever seen Blue Chips?
Yeah.
Well, I'll give him a pass in a way and say that it was part of a TV show. Like, if I ever got on Survivor, you couldn't be like, well, you just took a 1-month vacation in Fiji, motherfucker. Like, no, that's not really what happened. I was on a TV show, and that's where they shot it. So this is where, so this was a TV show. He goes to a slightly recognizable university. He's got a douchey name with douchey friends. They seem like the kind of guys, just by their names, that are into eating sushi off of a naked Asian woman. And, apparently people like Alan and his wife are into that kind of thing. So,
also, like, Johnny Damon's been on the show before. Like, it's not great.
He ate sushi off of Don Zimmerman, dude.
No, he almost got into a fight with some other rich yacht owner.
Oh, yeah.
Which seems crazy because, like, Johnny Damon's renting the yacht, you know what I'm saying? And he's trying to get in a fight in, like, Mallorca with, like, fucking Sven, who owns the yacht the same exact size next to him. It's like, you're out of your depth, Johnny Damon. Just pack it in.
Yeah, but Johnny Damon's Captain Caveman. He's a Bostonian hero.
Yeah.
Do what he wants.
Murr, I don't feel like you've said this, but you've alluded to it a couple times, and it talks about like we're in a bad way. We're in a bad way. This is the thing, like maybe unless he was a theoretical gun to head and said, unless you issue this apology, we're stripping your scholarship and you're not going to be playing football here anymore. And he had no choice. But why? Like, no apology necessary. Stop, man. Stop with this bullshit. He was on a show. He's 22 years old. He ate sushi off of a nude broad who was brought out. There was a lot of other adults in the room. There were a lot of other adults behind the camera. There were millions, presumably, at least 2 that I know of that were watching the fucking thing. I mean, what are we apologizing for? What are we apologizing for?
Yeah. This, to me, if you want to get, college-age kids, high school-age kids are going to become college-age kids, to go to UNLV, like, hey, this is the kind of shit UNLV athletes get into. That sounds cool. If you're worried about tuition dollars, parents aren't watching Below Deck with Max Gilliam, you know? Like, kids are. Idiots are. Morons are.
Dude, you are kidding absolutely no one if you think that fucking the high school junior that UNLV is courting wasn't told by a booster, you see Max on Below Deck, you should check that shit out. Come to UNLV.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah,
and what he should really be apologizing for is his apology was issued straight from Apple Notes. He didn't even like bother to like put it on like a real like I don't know, letterhead or anything. He just literally typed it into his phone, screenshot it, and put it on Twitter. Should apologize for that shit. Kind of college education they giving this moron.
That's an apology right there. Formal, if you ask me. I mean, I'm old school, baby.
It just proves to you that the Division I quarterback doesn't even own a computer. Like, he doesn't. He's in college. He doesn't even. He just has a fucking phone. He's like, well, fuck Word. We just won't type it up like that. We'll just type it up on here. Oh, and UNLV. Why is he typing up his own fucking apology letter? Where's your PR department? Seems like a fucking shittily run organization over there.
This just tells me he doesn't actually know how to type, and he turned on speech to text and allowed his tutor to speak into his phone before he posted on Twitter.
I thought initially he just mashed in a bunch of emojis and then had those translated to words.
It's like emoji wingdings to human letter.
Yeah, it was like rolling head laughing emoji.
It was the sushi icon followed by Asian woman followed by sad face.
Yeah.
You fellers. Well, Max and Dax and fucking Kyle, right? That was the third one. Of course, it's a Kyle, right?
Oh, there was a Kyle.
Yeah.
Sure.
And Kyle's do the Menudo run, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, tell you what, man, we burned through that one in not record time, so I think it's time for...
It's time for your favorite 3 questions of the week, my friends. It's officially time for 3 and Out. Of course, 3 and Out being brought to you by the Shin Splints Recovery Group. Make sure you find them on Facebook, especially if you're having some ginger leg pain below the knee and above the ankle. There's a whole support group out there for you, and out there is on Facebook. Find them, the Shin Splints Recovery Group. All right, question number 1 in tonight's 3 and Out. We will start with you, Alan. Would you rather throw up anytime someone says the word McDonald's, or wear a fedora for the rest of your life, and if anyone asks you about it, you have to say, I like the way it looks?
Option 2, automatically. That's what I would say anyway. I would love to do that. This is in no way torture to me.
Option 2?
Done deal. Next.
I gotta be honest with you. I kind of do like the way a fedora looks. Hipsters have ruined a very fashionable cap, and it's very sad. But Wes, you don't strike me as a fedora guy. Where do you stand on this issue?
I don't know, man. What's your only cover-up? That, like, if you're on a road trip and someone says, like, oh, we could stop at, and you see McDonald's, you plug your ears. I mean, is that kind of one of the fail-safes to this, or does it matter? Maybe you're walking around all drunk and someone screams it and you barf everywhere. Oh, boy. I don't know if I like that idea. I mean, fedoras are all right. Christ, I wore one on the show about 6 months ago.
Yeah, I do feel like fedoras have gotten a bad rap.
Do I have to wear it during in the shower, sex,
everywhere, all the time, 24/7? I mean, I guess you don't have to wear it in the shower. I guess you can take it off. But I guess anytime any other human being places their gaze upon you, there must be a fedora.
May I ask, as a parent, did you take a photo with your son when he was either first born or maybe like soon thereafter, within the first hour or so?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then what would you say to your wife who says, like, take the fucking fedora off? I like the way it looks.
I like the way it looks.
Yes.
Okay. I guess that's it. You don't have a choice.
By the way, I'm wearing an Orioles hat in my kid's photo. Like the first photo, like straight out the hole, like fresh from the catcher's mitt. Like, yeah, I'm wearing an Orioles hat.
I guess I'll go fedora simply because I don't know, man. I'm gonna have to see where that goes, and maybe by the time I get to 70 or 80, it's like, damn, bro looks sharp. Looks like he's Cuban and shit.
Yeah, man, when you go back in time and you see all these old photos, which is, I think, where the hipsters kind of stole the idea from, any old school picture, black and white, where people were, like, staring at, like, I don't know, gunpowder flashes for half an hour just to get their image etched onto tin, they're all wearing fedoras. And I think that's why the hipsters picked it up. Like, it's a classic look. It's, like, the most classic look you can have in the modern era. And I got to be honest with you. I kind of like the way it looks.
It would facilitate like so many things. Like I would immediately probably go to just the straight mustache, and let it get as bushy as humanly possible. Like the full Selick half moon.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. So like, yeah, dude, God, I'll just do it for fun, for funsies. I wish we had a sponsor. I'll do it for 2021.
Yeah, I would love to see, because I still play. I play an adult men's soccer league on Monday nights indoor, and that would be a fucking hoot. Having to just fucking tote that puppy around.
You would have to like, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and I almost feel like the amount of times I would have to say I like the way it looks versus puke would probably be 75-1, maybe more.
Especially in the modern era.
Job interviews, dates, just some random dickwad like, hey man, why are you wearing that?
You have formal fedoras for things like that, like weddings, bat mitzvahs.
Oh, I thought it was the same one. Just happened to be clean.
Yeah, I was going to suggest the same thing, and you'd have to choose wisely. I feel like you'd have to go with like the classic kind of like straw fedora with maybe like the black ribbon around the center. That might be the only one you could get away with, like in all scenarios.
The fucking the holy grail of fedoras. There's an old guy. It's like, he chose Paulie.
I believe they call that Castro.
Yeah, the Castro.
in fedora circles.
By the way, I used to think when I was a kid that his first name was Fedora because Fidel didn't make any sense to me. So I thought it was Fedora Castro. By the way, you brought up the mustache. Where do we stand on the mustache currently in the year 2020?
On just mustaches?
On just mustaches.
I mean, I'm for them. I'm too attached to my beard, but I have rocked. Yeah. Wes will tell you, I've rocked just a mustache before. I've done some ridiculous shit. Yeah,
Alan's done chop stashes, goatees, just any variation of all that.
It comes in real Wolfman-y like. So I've got no shortage. I could do a lot of things. So I've in my 20s, I was a fucking proper asshole.
Yeah.
Because I have a beautiful, glorious mustache. However, Child Protective Services seem to pop up on people's phones as soon as I get near them if I only rock the stash. It is very molester. It is a very molester stash. And I've wanted to try to do it because my dad rocked the mustache, I think, all the way up until he was 50 years old. I didn't know my dad without a mustache until he pretty much retired from work. But I'm like, maybe it sounds like I'm copying him. But maybe I just like the way it looks.
I think it's a power move. Like, that's why he didn't shave it till he retired. Like, he just kept it because people were like, fuck me, look at this fucking stash on this guy. And then he retired and he was like, fuck it.
I like the way it looks.
I like the way it looks.
By the way, my dad, I'll have to dig this up because I feel like I need to share this with the world. The most classic photo of my dad is playing basketball outside, and he's got like a helmet of hair. He's got the mustache. He's wearing just a straight up like tight Hanes shirt. He's a little out of shape, and he has got the most nut cutter cut off jeans you've ever seen in your life. And it's just classic fucking 1980s embarrassment photo. Yeah. But it's just burned into my retina because I feel like you can probably see a nut as he's
go for a rebound.
Trying to drain a three.
I like the fact that those guys tried that shit on. It was like, oh yeah, It's like a charm.
Yeah, like
Let's go play some hoops.
I'm pretty sure there is. I mean, so we'll get. There's two parts to the story, but my dad used to be on an awful men's softball team called the Silver Bullets, mostly because all they did was drink Coors Light and just get fucking shit faced. But most of them played in jorts. I mean, it was the early '90s, so it worked. But to think that you were like, yep. Yeah, these fucking jorts are going to cut it for this athletic activity today. Let's go on out there and fucking play some sports. It's fucking embarrassing.
Yeah, Vacation was on before we started the classic National Lampoon's Vacation, and there's the scene where Clark's running across the parking lot to get to the front of Wally World, and my wife looks at me and she's like, "Did people really wear shorts like that?" Because you go back, Clark Griswold's shorts. Woo!
Oh, yeah.
There's a second where I feel like you can see the inner of Chevy Chase's butthole as he's running and doing that little leap next to Russ as he's trying to catch up to him. It's pretty graphic, to be quite honest with you.
When we used to play, Wes knows about our old softball team called the Juice. And for league ball, we started this tradition that every last game of the season was going to be jorts night, in honor of the Silver Bullets. And Brian Powers, one of our fraternity brothers, I am fairly certain while at the plate, he had a testicle pop out. I didn't see it. I heard a lot of chatter. Heard a lot of people be like, "Whoa, buddy!" But
Ball one.
my man's jorts were Jordy that night. And we also beat a team for the league championship that night. And their team captain literally threw a tantrum. He was like, "Are you fucking kidding me? Look at they're wearing jorts!" Because we slaughter ruled them. It was bad. It was an embarrassment. Don't do it, guy.
This is a story for another day, but Wes, I think the greatest story you ever told me about college is when one of your balls popped out, and that was the day that I feel like you became a man because you threw your shame to the side, and you moved on, and you conquered, and I was so proud of you after I heard that story. Get on.
The lone time I showed one testicle in college. Yep, that's right. That's spot on nonfiction right there.
It's my favorite mental image of you. Moving on to question number 2. All right, this is one we don't do that often, but I wanted to get to a little MFK. All right, little Marry, Fuck, Kill for those that are uninitiated. And this is strictly food related. Wes, I know you're a foodie, so we will start with you on this one. Marry, Fuck, Kill. Italian food, Mexican food, Chinese food. Go. So, who do you marry? Who do you fuck? Who do you kill?
We haven't done this that often, and I will say that I think the last and only time that we did this, it involved Matthew McConaughey, Channing Tatum, and somebody else. So, marry, fuck, kill, Italian, Mexican, or Chinese food, right?
Yeah.
All right. So I'm gonna kill Chinese food. I like it, but it's fine. Boom. Shoot that shit in the head. So I'm going to. You say Italian and Mexican?
Yeah. This is this is where I got.
I'm gonna fuck Italian. I'm gonna fuck that one night stand. Get a nice big fucking shrimp scampi pasta dish with some tomato basil mozzarella and maybe some good wine. But I'm gonna marry that Mexican food, man. That's my favorite shit. That's my favorite ethnic food. I always ask Alan. Alan usually has to remind me. He's like, "Yo, we're Nicaraguan, dude." But that shit's good nonetheless.
Indeed.
Yeah, hell yeah.
What?
Yeah, I'm saying it's good. Your mom. I've eaten your mom's cooking a couple times. It's fucking phenomenal.
Yes.
What'd you do with his mom?
Jesus Christ.
Marry, fuck, kill, Alan. Italian food, Mexican food, Chinese food.
Oh. So I'm probably going to marry Mexican food. You guys know I like tacos a lot.
It's been, you're in a ball of a 500-mile thing. You got to eat out of it. Tacos. You got to eat your way out of something the size of Empire State Building.
500 Empire State Building size taco.
500 floors of taco.
Got it.
while listening to Taco on earbuds.
I'll know I've reached the next level when I hit lettuce and then cheese. It's perfectly fine. So yeah, marry Mexican food because yes, and it's the closest to my people, so there'll be plenty of like rice and stewed meats, things of that nature. So yep, marrying Mexican food. This is tough, man. This is where things get dicey because I think both of these are on equal pegging for me. As far as
should have said pegging when you're talking about which one you're gonna fuck.
That's fair. Yeah, equal standing for me. But I don't. I think I bang Chinese food because. My experience of Chinese food, it's always just pleasurable for that fleeting moment, and then, sometimes regrettable. It's just Chinese food feels like just a fuck, you know what I mean? And then I'll kill Italian food just because it's less good Chinese food combined with Mexican food. I don't know. Look, Italian food for me, I've always had a problem with because it's the same shit. Not that Mexican food isn't, but it's just sauces and pasta. It's cheese sauces and fucking tomato sauce. Is this spicy tomato sauce? Cool, call it Fra Diavolo. Is this regular ass tomato sauce? Cool, just call it fucking marinara. Like, it's just you're repackaging the same shit and trying to tell me it's a million different fucking dishes, and it's not. I know it's not. You know what I mean? Like, at the very least, like, if you're looking at, like, burritos and tacos and enchiladas, like, there's meat on the inside. There's meat on the outside. There's cheese on the outside. There's cheese on the inside. Sometimes there's lettuce. Sometimes there's an extra sauce on the side. That doesn't really happen with Italian food.
Yeah, but I do want to remind you, you're killing pizza, like garlic bread.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Alfredo sauce.
I love Alfredo too. You're
also undermining the fact of cooking a good al dente pasta is a skill. It's not done. Most of the time when I do it by sheer dumb luck. Like, yeah, it's been 3 minutes, 3 or 4 minutes. Yeah, and that's how I cook pasta. I go cook it, pull it up by hand.
I mean, I guess I could say the same for like the artistry of making a fucking handmade corn tortilla, like that shit that tastes better to like pasta's pasta. It is what it is. It's thick, long ass rice, and I prefer just regular rice. Just give me rice in rice form, which Mexican food and Chinese food accomplish, and every now and then Chinese food throws in like a wheat noodle, which is, a little bit better for you.
Not in the way they prepare it. Yeah, let's give them a wheat noodle. Prepared in pure fat and oil.
Fit every single one of them into MSG. But
and then while they're doing it, they say, this is original Chinese recipe. Well, this
you can get from the guy down on the other corner.
Authentic on every block.
The exact same fucking way. Have you gone to Texas? Bet you General Tso's the same.
Let's see here, brown sauce.
Yeah. No, Wes, I think you and I are in the exact same boat. I put a bullet right in Chinese food's head. I got the last time. It's probably been about 3 years since I had Chinese food because I got a General Tso's chicken, and I bit into one of those things they call a chicken piece. And what happened was, I guess the chicken had fallen out of the breading, and so I guess it had been sitting so long on top that some of the oil had actually just congealed inside of the bread, the bread crust. And so I bit in, and it was like this gelatinous, just oil burst. And I said, nope. And I kind of I spit it out on the plate, and it was just like spitting out a chunk of Crisco. And I said, nope, we're done here. Never again. I do love me some lo mein, but if I love me some lo mein, then I could just get all frisky with a little bit of Italian food because lo mein's nothing but a noodle anyway.
Lo mein's good. Or Singapore Mei Fun. It's got the noodly dealy.
What about udon noodles?
And see, you hear the word you just said, udon. What is that? I don't know how to order Chinese food. You're talking in a foreign tongue. Way too foreign for my stupid Irish ears to understand. I don't know how to order stuff. There's apparently a nice like Japanese restaurant or Japanese takeout place down in Perryville West, near the right by the Subworks.
Yeah, it's phenomenal.
Okay, I looked at a menu. I didn't understand anything on there. And I know that's not technically Chinese, but it's Asian enough for me to be turned off. If I don't know how to order it, then I don't need to eat it anymore. So I put a bullet in Chinese food. I think, like you, Wes, I make sweet, sweet love to the Italian food for one final night. And I marry the Mexican food. I do agree that the Mexican food, Alan, on the list, there's so much variety. Mexican people know how to season food properly. You can get a dish of just pork, and you can get it 15 different ways, and different marinades and seasonings. You can get it dry and get it wet.
Carnitas, you fucking asshole.
Yeah, man. There's something to be said about the pores of this world and what they do with food, because to turn fucking, discarded Doc Martens into edible food for your 16 children, it takes a little bit of boiling and a little bit of seasoning. So yeah, we got that pretty down.
Yeah. So definitely killing the Chinese food, making some sweet one night stand love to the Italian food, and I'm marrying that Mexican food. I mean, even Taco Bell's good, and that ain't even Mexican food.
Right? Dude, I wanted to tell you this. There was a female who was dating a person who we previously mentioned in the podcast. I'm going to leave it at that. Okay, a couple years older than me. She had just left. We were in high school, by the way. Just flat out leaves to go to Havity Grace and get herself a lunch special from a local, like a China Garden or something of that nature next to Acme, and comes back to school to eat it and sits down at the table and says like, "Hey, how you doing?" And I was like, "Oh, you made a leisurely trip out to pick up some food. What'd you get?" She's like, "Oh, I got General TSO's chicken." It's like, "You mean General Sal's?" No. It's his General TSO's. I remember. Oh, wow. This girl is incredibly stupid. Yeah.
Well,
you got to spell those.
Yeah, that's right. Phonetic.
You got to admit, though, they didn't really give you a phonics chart on that. It took a long time for me to realize that the T was silent. And it's actually General So's chicken, Wesley.
It's not
Sal, whatever. Christ.
Guy, he's giving this lady shit, whoever you're talking about, and you can't even say it right.
Sal.
The privilege on this guy.
I don't order that shit anyway. I haven't since I was like fucking 21.
And by the way, that's a made-up general. I looked it up because I looked up who was General So. General So is a man made up by the Golden Wall folk.
He was shot by Colonel Sanders in a movie.
It was a marketing employee by Kikkoman.
All right, and finally, your last question in tonight's 3 and Out. You can find it on the official The Middle Classholes Facebook page. Please, if you haven't done so yet, go there, like us, follow us, help us spread the word. And it's reads like this. The 3 and Out sneak peek question of the week is, what movie would be greatly improved if it was made into a musical? And Wes, we will start with you.
Oh, boy. What movie? So the assumption is that it's a bad movie or somewhat of a subpar movie, a C movie, if you will.
Not necessarily. I'll give you a quick little hint. The movie I was going to pick is rather confusing, and I feel like if they would just break into song at all of the plot points, then I would have a better understanding about what is being accomplished.
Okay.
I didn't give too much thought to this today. I kept thinking it had to be a bad movie. At first, I thought it was White Men Can't Jump, but I like White Men Can't Jump. That's an A- movie, but I think it would be a good musical.
A great musical.
It would be a good musical, actually.
But I don't want it to be. I think it had to improve the movie. I think it had to make it better. White Men Can't Jump the musical isn't better than Woody Harrelson and Wesley Snipes.
I don't know, man. Rosie Perez breaking into song like right after they lose all the money the first time. That would be pretty fucking good. You're gonna go. You're gonna win.
You lost all the money. Yeah.
That would be
Sometimes
awful.
when you win, you lose, and when you lose, you win. Ah, Christ. Maybe that's it. Maybe I have to. Alan, you go, and I'll see if I can come up with anything better than something I thought.
So I kind of kept thinking about bad movies too. I'm not gonna lie to you. And the thing that, well, this fundamentally I think changes the movie. But I think it would be fucking hysterical. Is the movie Tremors? Because now you've added the element of the fact that they bust into song uncontrollably, because that's how it happens in musical. But they need to stay quiet to avoid the tremors. So I think, although it is a bit of a dramedy, even though it's got fucking Kevin Bacon in it, it's fucking. I think if it was a musical, it would be top notch comedic gold. Like,
sounds like a new age Little Shop of Horrors.
And you are talking about, like, peak Kevin Bacon, and so if he had broken into, like, song and a Footloose dance,
yeah,
like, that could have been, they might have missed out on something
like
there.
when they dance across the rocks, like, to stay off the ground. Like, could you imagine him, like, singing and dancing, like, across the rocks? About fucking underground earthworms?
You know, I think they're up to, like, Tremors 8 now on the Sci-Fi Channel.
I think they still make them, yeah.
You think you could do, I had Kevin Bacon movies in mind. I don't know. No Holds Barred. There we go. Booyah. In memory of Zeus Lister.
Actually, No Holds Barred feels like it's just rife for a fucking musical.
Yeah.
Just like, I mean, just like, like them singing about body slamming each other. Almost like a Rocky montage, because Rocky's almost a musical. Like, I think most of the music was written by Frank Stallone, and it's like when they get to the montage, like what's the one? Was it Rocky 4 where he takes off in the car, and the you gotta be the best to win the round. If you don't win the round, you're going down. Like, that's almost a musical. It's just Sylvester Stallone's not singing.
He's hauling ass in his Trans Am at 100 miles an hour.
Hearts on fire, strong desire. All
right, so
it's almost a musical.
You're talking about a musical. All right, yeah. Name something else then.
Yeah.
What do you got?
Now,
Predator?
And I mentioned it. Predator? Yes, Predator. I'd love to hear Schwarzenegger breaking the song. We've got to kill the beast. I was actually, and I mentioned it earlier in the episode, but I was going to go, because I thought about this, like, legitimately, like Inception, because it'd be nice for them to be like, we're going to sleep, we're going to creep, and find out what's inside his mind. We're going to do it in a small amount of time. You know, I just feel like that would be helpful to understand what was going on. Because it's a movie in a movie, and it's like a dream in a dream. But I've watched that thing 3 times, and I get the beginning, and I get the end, but I don't get a lot of the shit in the middle.
God, really?
I mean, I get it, but it's a very cerebral concept that they're dealing with here.
Sure.
So, like, you know, it's one of those movies you can watch 3 or 4 times and be like, oh, I think I get it. Like, every time you watch it. I mean, I do get it. I'm not a dumbass. But it's a little too highbrow. And I think if they had made it into a musical, it would greatly enhance it for the general viewing public. Like, my wife watches it, and she just generally doesn't know what the fuck's happening. Like, why are they here? And why are they in the van and running around this mansion? I don't get it. Like, she's like that one. So if they sang what they were doing, it would be greatly enhanced.
So she's like a child that walks into the middle of a movie and needs an explanation as to what's going on, huh? Is that what you...
Yeah, and then as I explain it, and I hear the words leaving my lips, and hear how ridiculous and stupid they are. Well, you see, they invented this machine where they can go into people's dreams and they can actually get them to give them secrets, which helps them unlock actual safes and things in the real world. So they get their passwords from them in their subconscious, and in their real consciousness, they can actually, commit the heist. And you hear how dumb that fucking explanation sounds? And that's the explanation. That's real. So having fucking... having someone sing about it for a few minutes might be helpful. You know what you should do? You should, in the middle of the next time you're watching Inception, tell Maria, like, we should bet young William that he won't drive to Queens. He won't take the car. And then film it.
Yeah.
We'll give him the keys. By the way, I think they made Back to the Future into a musical, which is
the third one, of course, right? In the old Outback, the old Wild West.
Are you shitting on Back to the Future 3? Is that what you're doing?
Yeah, it's a terrible movie.
It's not a terrible movie. It's actually a really good movie. It's actually one of my favorites.
Is this the one? Is this one that you got recently as well, on top of Rookie of the Year?
It is a solid end to a fine trilogy. I feel like people tried to compare it too closely to the first two films, and therefore were disappointed by its place in the trilogy. But if you watch it, it is a solid. There are a lot of trilogies that don't end well.
Okay,
this one ended very well. It was a good end cap to a great series of movies.
Because Doc falls in love. Finally.
Not because Doc falls in love. It's because Doc learns that though Doc's whole thing is fucking with the timeline, and he never finds joy in this amazing invention that he created. And finally, he realizes that sometimes it just doesn't fucking matter. Time will correct itself. Go do whatever the fuck you want. Live life, be happy. Asshole.
Man,
that's your 3 and out.
You picked up on all of that and missed Rookie of the Year for fucking 2 decades. God damn. The human mind is a magical place.
Next week on the Middle Classholes.
Oh, shit.
Bend it like Beckham. All right. Fellas, where can we find us?
Oh, man. You can find us on the social medias. Instagram and Twitter is at MDL Classholes. And you can find us on Facebook at The Middle Classholes. The Middle Classholes. Don't forget the critically important. There might be some random other middle classholes that we don't even know about.
Yeah, that are ready to mix it up in a mixer.
Their whole page is about the allegories of 90s PG-13 cinema.
Ready to get it going in a very socially safe mixer.
The only thing we should nail every week is how to find us and to promote ourselves, and somehow we get about 3/4 of the way, and then we just fuck it up every single time. And don't forget Apple and Google Podcasts. Please subscribe and allow us to join your phone each and every Friday magically by the amazement of the internet.
Push notifications. Turn them on.
We got these things with the fucking QR codes in them, folks, coming your way.
I think where you find us is our thing now.
That's right. And before we close out, am I pissing into the wind if I piss and moan about Mayweather for a little bit? Do you guys know what he did?
No, I know what he did. Go ahead. Yeah, no, I know you wanted to chat about this, but let's do it.
He's agreed to an exhibition. He's off the curtails of Tyson and Roy Jones, who probably made, I don't know, 6 figures, probably made like a just shy of $1 million doing what they did. Now Mayweather wants to fight this fucking internet clown who lost in a split decision to another YouTube sensation. Yeah, he's a fit dude. Yeah, he played some high school football. Yeah, he's like kind of semi-jacked. Now Mayweather's going to charge fucking pay-per-view. Oh, man, it kills me. It disgusts me. It's so fucking... Don't buy it. Don't buy it. For the 54 people that listen to us a week, don't buy it. Tell your friends to not buy it. If the 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon work, then I'll send this message out to everybody. Ugh.
Okay, what's your problem? So, what is your okay? Technically, Mayweather's retired.
Yeah.
He has an opportunity to make another couple $1 million. Like, I mean, can you blame the guy?
No, not at all. But we as consumers can decide what we want to spend our money on. Don't buy that shit.
But there's a whole audience out there that wants to see it. Because, okay, it's Jake Paul and Logan Paul. Which one's he fighting?
Whew.
Bless
Boy,
you.
Logan.
Which one's he fighting?
Logan. Jake fought on the undercard of the Tyson Jones fight.
Now, do you think Mayweather thought he was fighting that guy and not the guy he agreed to fight?
I think he was fighting Paul Hogan. Is Crocodile Dundee around these days? No, I don't
think that's a fight. This is a fight.
I think no. I think he thought he knew who he was fighting. That guy's fought a sanctioned fight before against an other YouTube personality, and he lost.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
Did you purchase the Tyson thing, Wes?
Oh, you're way low.
Sorry. Did you purchase the Tyson thing?
He's still way low.
It's weird.
Did you purchase? He's asking if you purchased the
no,
Tyson
no,
fight.
no, did not, no.
Okay. I don't know. I was just gonna draw the parallels, but you didn't buy it, so I guess you're good. You don't have to buy this one. Am I still really low? Weird.
Maybe we should end it on that. Alan's low, folks.
Ah!
Well, what I did want to say, Wes, is that the guy. Okay, so Jake Paul, is that who it is? Jake or Logan? Either way,
Logan.
The guy's 200 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
He's
Max Daxman.
Max Daxman is 200 pounds. What's Mayweather, like $150?
Give or take, yeah.
Is it okay? Again, this is what it comes to. This is why people will buy it. Is it possible? I'll just throw that question. Is it possible?
No.
0.
Mayweather will tinker with him for a little bit. You know, he'll dance, he'll pop around a little bit, but no, there's zero chance. Too skilled, too fast. Even at his age, he didn't get hit a whole lot in his career. No. And I guarantee you that glute's going to come out and start fucking firing away and get all fucking gassed by the third round.
Yeah, but if you know how to box, I mean, if you have the basics, you're probably not going to come wildly swinging. But, I mean, I do agree with you. I'm not completely disagreeing with you. But is it okay, at that weight disadvantage...
Is there a puncher's chance?
Yes.
It depends upon how fucking skilled you are at delivering a punch. There's a difference between a 200-pound person throwing what they think is a punch. Like, yeah, if it hits someone, it's going to hurt. But I'm talking about plant, pivot, hip, torso, shoulder, full-on crank. In a fashion that's fast and deliverable enough to hit a guy with reflexes like Mayweather. I don't think it's going to happen. No, either that or he'll glance. I mean, he'll hit him and it'll kind of flow off. That's why his shoulder roll's so good.
Yeah. No, I don't think he has a chance either. But no, and I won't buy it. But
although I think that there's 2 welterweights in the world right now that would beat Mayweather. 147. That's what I say. Like, if you're going to fight these guys.
Yeah, but I mean, you're 43 and you're no longer concerned about your boxing legacy. You're 50-0 technically, and I don't know. I don't have an apparatus in my life that allows me to make a 7-figure payout, and at the drop of a hat. And if I did, goddamn right, I would abuse it
with limited risk. Yeah, no, I get it. Sure. Right.
Yeah, I mean, is there any real difference between this and the last Pacquiao fight? Like, I mean, no.
Yeah, there's a major difference between this and the last Pacquiao fight.
You just like the name. You were like, that name's better. I will watch that.
Hold on, you're talking about Manny Pacquiao.
No, I'm just saying. From a high level, I understand the boxing intricacies of this, Wes. Don't go fucking losing your mind.
What I was about to say is,
the only difference here is the second Pacquiao fight was a money grab. It was Pacquiao on the card, so you were like, yes, I'm going to give you my money.
Wait, what?
Some internet guy, so you're like, meh. Or wasn't it a second? Didn't they fight twice?
They fought once.
Oh, sorry. I thought they fought what? They fought
And
what?
the last time Pacquiao fought, he fought a 29-year-old belt holder and beat him.
Maybe that was... Nah, I'm thinking of a money grab. Maybe it was two different boxers. I have to think.
Were you talking about Mayweather when he fought Conor McGregor?
Oh, maybe that's it. Money grabs. Either way. Did you buy that?
I did. I had like 40 people in my backyard, too.
No.
I was one of them.
Yeah, that's it.
And even better. Fucking Conor McGregor, nowhere near the level of Pacquiao, and you were like, yep, let's do that. That's good. But fucking Logan Paul or Jogan Paul? Fucking, nope, can't do that. That's dumb.
But in defense of that fight, I would say that Conor McGregor, world-class action sports fighter with a puncher's chance, with reflexes similar to Mayweather, just in a different branch of combat sport. I think everybody wanted to see if it was possible. And I think by about round 6, people thought it was possible. And then Mayweather figured it all out and decided, no, I'm just going to fuck with this guy until my money's made.
I mean, from a boxing analysis perspective, totally get it. I understand. But on the surface, money grab.
Yeah, it's a money grab.
Huge money grab. Everybody knew it was a money grab. Multiple people in boxing were like, fucking money grab. This is bullshit. But everybody bought it. Wes had 40 people in his backyard pre-COVID. But apparently the Jogan Paul fight is the straw that breaks the camel's back. Fucking Mayweather's a money-grubbing bastard now. Not before when he did it.
I thought he was money grubbing with McGregor, but I could stomach it.
Okay, that's fair. I mean,
I will
put this bitch on YouTube.
Yeah, no, I'll definitely be searching Twitter to see if I can get myself a nice little free grab like I did the Tyson fight.
Money grab. All right, folks. We will see you again next week, whenever the fuck that is. I'm looking at my calendar. Who the hell knows? 1 week's time. Take it easy.
7 days from now.
7 full days. With 1,600 hours. It's like 3 weeks from now. All right. See ya.